I need your seed.
Why?
Well, to sleep with it.
And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, though. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here. At the...
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna. What did
Chris
you think
likes
of
Cass?
I like.
What have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
Abs was
And
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. Just sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison. Oh yeah.
No smell stuff.
That came out wrong. Sorry.
Sorry. I could not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Death
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack him
now.
across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the face. We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. What's going on, Indigo Chameleon audience? It's me, your good buddy Scribe, here to remind you of the fun ways that you can interact here on Indigo Chameleon, even when we're not streaming. One, we've got an amazing Discord. Come and hang out with us. We would love to have you there. You can find some inspiration if you need it. There's memes. There's even like fun ways for you to be like the first one to know when we're looking for players for a remote one-shot or a one-shot located here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you. We also have a merch store. Yeah, it's a chance for you, the dear viewer, to help us represent the brand a little bit. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's prints, there's shower curtains. So I hear one day you will be mine, shower curtain. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And as always, there's always a spot here at the table for you. You are the 7th player at this spot. You can use stream points by clicking that little karma right at the bottom of your screen, right where the chat is, one of those sides. You can do that and earn stream points. Every time you tune in, you help us raid, you spread the word, donate bits. That, well, I don't know about spreading the word, it'd be hard to track that, but all of those other things will help you earn stream points that you can use to help your players when they need it the most. Thank you all so much for all your support. Hello, everybody! Welcome. It is Thursday night. It's time for you to take a look inside the book known as Indigo Chameleon. Icky V, look at you waiting until that last second. Thank you so much for gifting out all those subscriptions. You are the best. And thank you. 25 emotes were shared, and there's a reason. And I'm going to skip all of my other announcements and go straight into...
I already had Discord typed in, so I'm going to do the other one now.
So now we're going to do this instead. This is welcome welcome to Pride Month. Just as a heads up to you, our dear audience members and all of our players, when you subscribe, when you gift a sub, or you cheer with 300 bits or more in a single cheer, you're going to permanently earn Pride emotes for yourself and the community. And Twitch is also going to donate to the Trevor Project, a charity that we have supported and is very near and dear to our hearts here on Indigo Chameleon. We've done some, I think it was our very first fundraiser.
Our very first charity.
So anything that you can do, that would be great. Lucy, I'm home. Yes, thank you, Icky V. You know what, Icky V? Take DM inspiration just for doing something nice for everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you that. But hi, everybody, welcome. It's Thursday. It's time for a little D&D. We have a Discord. Come and hang out with us there. We'd love to have you join us, and we have inspiration and memes, and we talk about D&D and all sorts of nerdy stuff. If I had glasses on, that would be me pushing my glasses, but I didn't have them on. There you go. So
These are not yours. They're mine. They're gonna look silly.
We also.
Wow, thanks. Those are my glasses. You're making that face, and then
they look better on you than they do on me.
I know. Now I feel bad.
They look really
Oh,
cute on
Granny
you.
Scribe coming to you.
Yeah, but
from
she puts them
Indigo
on.
Studios.
Yeah, but she puts them on, and it's like, hello, Mrs. Librarian. I know these books are like. You look very cute. I need to stop looking
Merch.
at
You
you
were
with those
talking about
glasses.
merch.
Yes, merch. We have merch. We have merch. We have so much merch. We're strong, manly. No, we don't. We have shower curtains and mugs and T-shirts and prints and all sorts of stuff. So yes, thank you for everybody repping the brand tonight. Meowdith wearing her Indigo Chameleon shirt. Turk wearing his Indigo Chameleon shirt. The shirts I hear are perfect for going to the grocery store.
I forgot to put liquid in my cup.
So it's don't be like Indigo Chameleon. Get your cup and fill it with liquid. Official tagline. Nope. That's a bad tagline.
It will have liquid in it now.
That's catchy.
Thank you, Maya. Merch store. Oh, okay. Upcoming schedule for this week. Unfortunately, sadly, we do not have anything going on tomorrow. We normally have a Neverland group, but due to some circumstances, we needed to postpone tomorrow's episode of Neverland. But just because we're not doing anything tomorrow doesn't mean that there's not something going on in the TTRPG universe. So I think, Icky V, do you have streams going on this weekend?
I do. I finally got my computer fixed, so we're actually streaming this weekend. Yay!
Yay!
I was having a really hard time streaming last weekend. My computer would freeze every time Streamlabs opened, so I have doubled the amount of RAM in my computer, and now it works. So yes, we will have D&D on my channel in the Land of Eberroth on Friday night starting at 9 p.m. and on Saturday night starting at 9 p.m. And we go a little bit later. We catch a little bit of the later crowd, and we do some goofy things.
Perfect.
All the time.
Yes, please tune in for that. That's on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. We don't have anything going on Monday. Tuesday, we would normally have Wonder, but for the very first time in a long time, we're not having Wonderland on Tuesday. This past Tuesday was the closing night of Wonder, but instead we have something amazing coming up for you on Tuesday. Our very good buddy Maysay is going to be DMing a Star Wars game. For those of you who want extra nerd points, Old Republic. Concerning the Mandalorian Wars. So please tune in.
2 weeks.
Two weeks of Star Wars amazingness while I take some time to prep, and we do a session 0 for Indigo Chameleon and the cast of Wanderlust. But Maysay, continue to vibrate with excitement until Tuesday. Just don't be like the Flash and vibrate through the floor. That would be weird. So that's on Tuesday. We don't have anything going on Wednesday. Just casually panic. Casually panicking is a free action. And then that cycles us back around to Thursday for the Lost Isle. I think that's it for announcements. Oh, no, it's not. Wolf Garin, I remembered. You didn't have to point. Wolf Garin, you've got some stuff going on. Tell us about what you're doing.
I do, and thank you for recognizing me. Now, but in celebration of the upcoming Star Wars events, Wolf Garin D&D will be taking on a 90-day Beat Saber weight loss challenge. In fact, I'm currently working off of just day 4 today, and currently down 5 pounds so far. My goal is to lose 50 pounds in the next 90 days playing Beat Saber. And you guys can join me and watch me every morning, Monday through Friday, 9:30 Eastern time, or on Saturday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And where I'll be playing, come out, throw a couple glitter bombs my way, request songs. We're just going to have a lot of fun. And if you make it, awesome. You get to see me in my Jedi bathrobes. Your favorite couch potato Jedi.
Now, you weren't privy to this, dear audience, but before the stream started, I was talking to Wolfgren, and I was commending him on his journey, his weight loss journey. I could probably stand to lose a few pounds. So I'm actually challenging Wolf to a weight loss challenge myself. I don't have Beat Sabers, but I'm going to do my best. And so Wolfgren and I made a very friendly wager. The wager stands as such. I'm going to participate in the 90-day challenge as well. And whoever loses the most weight, whoever loses the most will be the winner of the challenge. And that means the other person is, because in Wolfgren's game, you can get glitter bombed. I think it's only appropriate that he be glitter bombed in real life. So whoever loses our challenge is going to get a glitter makeover, just like the glitter makeover that Magnoth and I had all of that time ago.
You realize I'm still cleaning up glitter from the last glitter makeover?
Mine will be outside for a very special outdoor
He's
stream.
not allowed to eat for the next 90 days, apparently. So...
So tune in for Scribe Shenanigans for Glitterbeards. For Glitterbeards...
Was that a whip crack I heard in the distance?
That was.
Yeah.
The weight loss Beat Saber Glitterbeard Challenge 2 Electric Boogaloo. So join us for shenanigans for the next.
And just to throw this out there, if my wife permits, I am not shaving my beard this entire 90 days. And so it can become quite the glitter repository.
You are never allowed to say those words again. But I am.
Well, it's better than the alternative of a glitter suppository.
That's where I was afraid Big Mike was going to go. So, Wolfgren, it is a gentleman's agreement. Huzzah! I look forward to beating you in this challenge. I think that's it for announcements. I think that's it for upcoming streams and things of that sort. Once upon a time on the Lost Isle. Our group of heroes, having spent a little bit of time in the Ghost Dimension not too long ago, found themselves resting in the Ioun Stone's Throw, a brand new bar that sort of made itself apparent to the group because the group had proven themselves to the owner. Come to find out that this is William's aunt, Merlin's sister, the very first bard that ever existed, that realized the power that comes inherent in spoken word and artistry and finding a way to connect to magic through it. The group, after singing quite a bit of karaoke at the Ioun Stone's Throw, spent some time getting to know the new person that was going to allow them to leave the island. Beth, to her friends, has said that she will take care of the group, and she has an understanding with the council and with the island itself. The island itself actually responding to her and coming out to greet the group. There was much carousing, much drinking to be had. Our very own Kiara woke up surrounded by coffee and pastries, without a stitch of clothing, behind an altar at the Temple of the Celestial Deer, and there was some other shenanigans that ensued with the rest of the party as well. Most notably, Texas waking up in bed next to Mordru, who was a bit confused, as Texas being a bit confused as to how he got there, but seeming to be a clandestine meeting between the two of them late at night. So
remind me to never say both when you say one or two on the carousing table.
Understood. Hey, and to welcome our newest cast member, Mace has redeemed a DM inspiration. Benny, you have a DM inspiration. That's really good. And I'm hoping that I added that for you, because there's a good chance that I forgot to add that for you. Nope, I forgot to add that. So you need to write down that you have a DM inspiration while I work on getting you a little DM inspiration set up.
Cool, because I will forget.
Yeah, but we will get that situated, and you will learn more about who Benny is. But thank you, Jupiter Witsend, for stepping up this evening and joining our group. So let's pick up right where we left off. Texas, you're still in bed. You've pulled the sheets off of the bed and surrounded yourself as Mordrew has gotten out of the bed wearing far less than you. He's currently walking around the room and picking up his clothes and starting to put his clothing back on after the clothes seem scattered to the four winds, and he is getting dressed and not really saying much as he slowly gets dressed.
Tell me you just came in here like 5 minutes ago, or there's something different than what it appears?
What are you talking about?
I had a lot to drink last night and I don't remember.
You don't. But the songs you sang me.
You're making that up, right?
You don't remember any of the songs? You practically made your way through the Spice Girls like canon.
Oh gosh. All right, tell me what you remember.
I mean,
maybe it'll jog me my
you
memory.
did a really good job of I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. I didn't really
okay,
remember.
you can stop with the songs. Just don't tell me any more about the songs.
Sure.
You know what? You probably shouldn't tell me.
Is this a joke? Like you bring me in here and then everyone makes fun of me, sort of thing? Like.
Oh, you know how you can prevent that is leaving without anybody seeing you.
Okay. This is how we're gonna play this. He looks at you for a second and begins to put on his clothing, taking his shoes, and goes, I understand. Discretion is the better part of valor, so it's probably best that I don't make a scene.
Were you planning on making a scene? No,
I was planning on going and getting us breakfast, but I understand now the importance of yes. He's putting his clothing on, and he looks at you and he says, I promise you have nothing to worry about. I understand the importance of your reputation. And
you don't know anything about my reputation. I just
You cried very deeply last night about how hard it is to be a performer and the pressure it takes making sure your teammates stay alive. So,
all right, next time you're the one that's going to get super... I just said next time. I didn't mean next time. I just need...
Oh, I understand.
I need you
There is no next time. Wink. Yes.
I think you're going to need to go now.
Of course, yes. Very well. If that's what you like. And he gets dressed and he heads to the door and he looks over at you and he goes, shh.
Yes. You're going to make them roll.
Well, goodbye, everyone. It's I, Mordrew, leaving Texas's bedroom. Everybody, give me perception checks. Everyone, actually no. So it's just William. It's just William and Turk and Cass. Give me perception checks. These are not at disadvantage because he is screaming pretty loudly as he goes, I'm leaving very quietly, but I wanted to wish you all nothing but the best of health on this beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh. Yes, nat 20. Turk, you stick your head out of your door and you see a somewhat disheveled Mordrew leaving and gives a small wave to you as he stomps his feet down the hallway and to the stairs.
16.
Yes, William, you're aware, and you hear it as well. Cass is the only one who does not hear it. Even at advantage, even straight roll perception, she would not be able to. But you two are aware and hear Mordrew, and as you come out of your rooms, would you...
Can I ask him to stay for breakfast?
Good morning, Mordrew.
No.
You?
No, I have a prior engagement, but I actually had, I have a big day ahead of me. I wouldn't want to impose.
Oh, it'll take no time at all.
No, really, I figure I will go and get some cereal or something so as not to impose upon anyone.
Oh, you're not
here.
imposing. It'd take me literally seconds to get this whipped up.
No, thank you. I must insist. William, you are a gracious host, which is what I wish I could say of the other individuals who live here at this home. So I will.
I invoke hospitality.
I will bid you a fond farewell. And he nods his head at you, and we'll turn back to Texas's door. Are you back inside? Did you go in? Or are you just?
I just went to make a very, very strong cup of coffee, and I threw some whiskey into it.
Cool. Still in the sheet, right? Like you're not dressed. You're still wearing the sheet, making that coffee.
No, I would have gotten. Whoa, there is not a side area for me to change, is there? Nope, then I'm in a sheet.
Yep. Okay. You're in a sheet, and as he comes through.
So, quick question.
Yes.
There is quite a height disparity.
Oh, there is, isn't there?
So
there is.
Stop.
Let me
there.
ask.
No, don't
Hold
ask
on.
whatever
I just
you're
described
gonna
this
ask.
scene. So
No.
does she have a regular bed?
She
or
does.
A diminutive bed?
She has already established that it is a very large bed.
Okay.
I like to sprawl.
So, okay, so it's a very
that helps
large sheet.
Texas.
It is a very large sheet.
Gotcha. Trailing behind her.
Yes.
Like a gown. Gotcha.
Like a wedding gown.
Yes.
Yes.
Making sure. I just want to take the whole thing in. I didn't
Yep.
want to miss any detail.
Yep. Mordrew will leave, giving a little side eye to Texas as he makes his way to the front door of the library.
I'll just say, see you tomorrow morning.
And he will look at you and then look over at Texas and go, no, you won't. And he'll go to the door and close the door.
So
Work
can
out very
I
well for you,
assume,
Texas.
Texas, that you handled that well?
Wait, you're asking me if I handled that well?
He seems to have been handled very well.
Ooh, I'm gonna go back to my room. I'm locking the door.
This is eyebrow
braces.
This is eyebrow gate 2, man. Like this is like.
It's not enough.
I'm going to
On fuego.
Where are we at this point in the kitchen area? Where are we?
You are in the
like
kitchen area.
Okay, then I'm pulling out a chair. I'm standing up on the chair so I'm nose to nose with Turk.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, unless you got something constructive to say, you can just keep your mouth closed. Now, does anybody remember anything about what happened last night?
Wait.
I remember fully what happened with me last night.
That timing is too good. As that happens, Kiara would walk in wearing a robe of the Order of the Temple of the Celestial Deer. And that is it.
Did you bring any Danishes?
No. In fact, they're all out forever.
God, their Danishes are so good.
Was there someone in your room?
I didn't even make it to a room.
Oh.
Although, apparently I made use of the Celestial Deer.
So, can we,
person or
put
a
a pin in that and
restaurant?
come back to that one? I just to put a pin in that. We can come back and talk about that one later. Texas, I had more Drew over.
Why was the Glampire here this early?
Well, let's ask Texas. Texas!
He was just visiting.
Why was the Glampire here this early?
Arathel is reading a book at the table, and she just starts humming "The Stars at Night Are Big and Bright" deep in the heart of Texas as she like sips her tea.
No.
I'm gonna tell myself he came over to visit like 5 minutes ago. That's what I'm gonna tell myself.
If you need to tell yourself lies, that's perfectly fine with me. I need coffee. Apparently, I'm not allowed back.
I
at
think
the
you already
Celestial
had
Beer.
some.
No, I'm not allowed
you
back
were
at the
there.
Celestial
I thought
Beer.
you were there. My bad. What did I miss?
My coffee
okay, let's
has
take that
whiskey in
pin
it.
out.
Would you like some?
Yes.
I'm
I
having
hand her
serious
my coffee
FOMO,
cup.
so I'm gonna leave my room now and come out and join the rest of all this crazy because I need it.
All of you spend a very pleasant breakfast together. If not,
Does anyone tell Cass what happened? Please.
I'm sure over the course
I'll
of your
dish.
time.
I'll dish.
Yes.
All of you, after having breakfast and put on adult-like clothing rather than borrowed robes and bed sheets, would begin to head over to the Ioun Stone's Throw. As the island begins to shift through the portals of time and jump, you would recognize exactly this feeling as once again the island begins to rest in a time period that you aren't exactly sure where it is, but over your talk and conversations with Elizabeth, you think you know exactly where you are.
William.
Yes.
My staff, please.
Which one?
The staff, William.
Just kidding. I'll take out the staff from my wrist pocket.
Okay. The staff is handed to you. It is back in your possession. It does not seem to be the worse for wear. Heading over to the Ioun Stone's Throw, you are actually greeted outside by Elizabeth, who is wearing somewhat similar clothing. She has traded the skirt and the tank top for what looks to be a very loose-fitting t-shirt that has like a kiss tour on it, and it's got the tour dates on the back of the shirt. The size looks a little bit too big for her, and she's standing outside and wearing jeans, the shirt, and as you guys approach, she goes, normally I know that you all take your boat, your little skiff, but I think I can accommodate you a little bit better. Please, come on inside. And she leads you inside the Ioun Stone's Throw, and she will actually lead you to the stage where you all sang karaoke not too long ago. Inside, once you are standing on the stage, if you were to continue with her, she would lead you to the red curtains that open up to where you thought you heard music coming from. Instead of a band, what you would see is an arcane circle that is shaped as thus. Think arcane circle, okay, that is composed of an outward ring, okay? But instead of arcane symbols that go inward, there are the initial round of arcane symbols, and inside are concentric circles that get smaller and smaller. Okay.
Like tree rings?
Like tree rings, more if you threw a rock into a pond and it sent the ripples outward. There is also, connected to this arcane symbol, what looks to be a plank of dark cherry wood that is a different color from the ground itself, that is very long and forms a rectangle connecting the circle on the floor all the way down, we'll say like 7 feet in length. There are also what appear to be 5 strings that go from the top of the plank of wood all the way down, connecting to the transportation circle.
Okay, do we know what we're walking into here as far as what we're going to find on the other end of this?
You do not. Would you have asked her?
I'm just wondering how much preparation, if we've gotten clothing, what we've done.
So I'll say this. For the sake of brevity, while the drinking and carousing was going on, some of you may have been a little bit concerned. Turk, you can, with your new magical item, alcohol has no effect on you. So you would have spent some time knowing that you are headed to the west, or what you affectionately refer to as the Wild West. You're headed to a small section of Wyoming called Beth's Basin, which is ironic because there is a pretty severe drought going on. You are being sent there to check on a favored person of Elizabeth's by the name of Benny. All you know of Benny is that Benny is a good soul, as she referred to it. And she wants you to go in and check in on Benny at Beth's Basin. You don't know if it's coincidence that her name is Elizabeth and the town in Wyoming is called Beth's Basin, but think of that what you will. Can I just know from a DM perspective, character-wise, who is excited? What is the tone if you were to know that you were headed to the Wild West here? Are any of the characters that you play?
I'm all for
Cass
it.
is
Anybody?
absolutely stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere but here right now.
But
Texas
it's because
just-
of that movie.
Yeah, Texas wants to go. What movie is that, Cass?
The Will Smith movie, Wild Wild West.
I knew it.
That's why she wants to go. She
That-
wants to see a man
Now
that's a
it's in my head.
spider.
Thank you.
All
She
right.
wants to ride on a train car and have there be weird traps in it. She's
You
completely
think-
disconnected from the reality of the situation.
You think the Wild West is going to be similar to, if not an exact copy of Will Smith in the Wild Wild West movie?
I mean, she's excited to see if it is or isn't.
That's-
I'll give you that.
That's great. Texas just wants to get the hell out of Dodge. Is Turk stoked?
Oh, really giving it much thought. But y'all, he may be quite ready for this adventure. In fact, knowing Turk, he may have gone out and done a little shopping if that were at all possible.
Yeah, you know what? Turk and I had a conversation. Yeah, you are prepared. You are prepped and ready to go, Turk. And Turk looks positively giddy at this excitement. Elizabeth is going to send you guys over to the transportation circle in the center of the floor, and she'll just sort of nod over at it. She says, "Good luck." Oh, she is going to reach into her pouch, and inside she is going to pull out what looks to be like a little charm for a charm bracelet, and it is a. It looks to be like a little tiny hammer that you'd find on a little charm bracelet, and she hands it to you, Cass, and says, "Would you give this to Benny when you see him?"
Okay. And she'll take it. Do I clip it on the bracelet you gave me too?
She smiles and she says, "No, I'd actually prefer you didn't."
Okay.
You
I'll pass it over.
yeah, just pass it over to Benny, and he should know what to do with it.
Okay.
Okay. And she nods at you and once again gestures for you all to stand in the teleportation circle. William, give me an Arcana check.
And while this is going on, Wolf is going to pull out his revolvers one by one and make sure that they're fully loaded
19.
and everything, and with a slight flourish is going to put them back in the holsters.
Okay. Turk, give me a sleight of hand check, buddy. Let's see how quick you are with those.
Now, I remember a couple days ago playing Beat Saber, somebody mentioning that Turk had advantage on dexterity rolls.
I remember that.
I will say for this arc, Turk, you can have advantage on certain dexterity rolls. Most importantly, sleight of hand. For this arc, you have, especially with your Beat Saber prowess. Yeah, baby. Look at that. 18. Yeah, with a 23, Turk, in an impressive stylistic performance, flips those guns around on his fingers as if he's been doing this his whole life, and slams those bad boys into their holster as you guys stand in the teleportation circle. William, what was your Arcana check?
That was a 19.
Okay. Kiara.
How are we going to get back?
She looks at you and says, my connection to the world is through my art, and it's my connection to magic, and it's my connection to everything. So, what do we think? Little Wizard of Oz?
I need to go get some red shoes.
A little bit of
Right
Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Sure. I can do that.
All right. Whenever you're ready. And I think you'll know when you're done.
Last question. When we would take the boat, we go through the mist and we change a bit. Is the same concept apply?
She goes, yes, the island will take care of you and will probably be a little bit more receptive to it if you ask for what you're wishing for rather than taking it. So just have an idea in your mind of what you would like to be wearing rather than accepting the magics. It's much better to ask than to take.
That is fair enough. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you guys all step into the center of the teleportation circle. She will head over towards a spot where that dark cherry wood is connected to the teleportation circle, and she will begin to play the strings, the teleportation banjo, which now that she is starting to play the strings, you can definitely see that the strings all strike a chord. They all play a particular note, and the notes are connected to the teleportation circle. So instead of carving the sigils in the ground as she begins to play, there is a rushing feeling as the last note is played, and all of you are teleported. Welcome, dear friends, to Wyoming. In particular, Beth's Basin. You are going to end up a little ways outside of the town of Beth's Basin. Now, Beth's Basin is one of them small like towns here in what is known as the Wild West. You're going to be looking at most places that are referred to as small towns are referred to as one-horse town. This here ain't a one-horse town. This is a two-horse town. The people of Beth's Basin are a decent-like folk. Beth's Basin is composed of such. There is a central town to Beth's Basin. You can find mostly everything here. You can find the dock. You can find the saloon. You can find a place to stay. You can find a house of earthly delights, if you like. And it actually doubles as the church because building is at a premium. So on Sundays, none of the gambling and drinking and stuff go on. But you can head in there on a Sunday and go to church. The drink of choice here in Beth's Basin is whiskey. Now, if you're looking to drink water, it's a little harder to come by because for the past 3 years or so, there's been a mighty drought. Beth's Basin is actually built next to what used to be a source of water. And that's the reason the whole town was constructed. But without any rain in these here parts for a long time, Beth's Basin dried up. All right. There are lots of towns outside, little bitty farmsteads and things of that sort that are a little spread out. Where the soil still responds and things of that sort, and there might be some underwater reservoirs, but water's definitely at a premium here. You find yourselves a little ways outside of town. You see the town about half a mile in front of you. Tell me what everybody's wearing as they mosey on into town. Now that you have access to the island and are able to speak in a more asking permission sort of way, you have a little bit more control over what you're wearing when you travel through the mist and end up in this particular part of town. all of you have on you what is going to amount to $20. Okay. You don't know if that's new. You don't have to worry about any sort of gold or anything of that sort, but you have about $20 on you, which can be a lot of money in this here time. So use of that what you will. If you don't,
Also,
yeah, go ahead, William.
Don't forget that everybody has their new shoes.
Everybody also has brand new slippies, brand new shoes that you can wear that look like boots or what have you, but can be used to communicate as long as the group is within a certain radius. Do you remember that radius, William?
It was 100 feet.
But if you go past that, if you want to communicate, you got to do so by taking the shoe off, and it kind of works as ascending. All right?
Now, do these shoes change form, or do they just have the illusion of boots at this time?
They change form. Okay, so if you want them to look like boots, they look like boots. If you want them to look like sneakers, you can make them look like sneakers. I'm going to assume that for the time being, that everybody's wearing boots of some sort. As the dust is starting to kick up a little bit right outside of Beth's Basin. Let's give me a one-sentence description of what Turk's looking like these days.
Clint Eastwood, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Perfect. Yes, don't change a single thing. Texas.
Oh, I just look like myself.
Texas hasn't
All
changed
3 foot of
clothes.
me.
Yep, all
Yep.
3 feet of Texas looks exactly the same. William.
I have gone in the guise of a prairie minister.
Okay, I'm about it. Yes, sir. You got the good book, which is your spell book under your arm.
Yep.
I'm about it. Kiara, what about you?
Knowing that there was a bit of a drought, I'm dressed in light colors, like a light linen kind of color. Very simple. I don't look fancy, but I look clean.
Okay, I'm about it too. Cass.
Is in a kind of a shabby white, loose-fitting top that's not really white. It's dingy, and an appropriately dingy skirt, full length to the ground.
You all find yourselves a little ways outside of the town, and you got a moment to yourselves before you start making the trek in. Turk, you are accompanied by Wolf Garin, who's at your side, who hasn't changed appearance in any way whatsoever. As you guys are taking a moment to yourselves to just sort of assess what you look like and not have to worry about paddling any sort of boat or making your way to the shore, Benny, let's cut to you. Benny, tell us a little bit about what Benny looks like.
Benny ain't nothing special. I'd say he's about 5'11", a little built in the arms because he does like a good workout, good spot of work now and then. Nice and tan by the sun, got a good farmer's tan on him. Green eyes, and he's usually wearing a nice button-up shirt because he has a very important job, so he likes to look proper for it. Yeah.
So Benny's actually in town, and Benny is working on. Let's say that Benny's working on a fence. One of the bar fights happened at the local saloon, and it got a little bit out of hand, and they went flying through, and they broke one of the horse posts out front. So a lady Olivia, who is she tells everybody to call her Olive, but you know her full name is Olivia, so you call her Olivia. Said that she'd throw a couple of free drinks at you and a little bit of coin if you wouldn't mind mending this horse post, the hitching post out in front of the saloon. And Benny, you're never one to turn down work, especially when it's honest work like this. So you're out there just sort of taking the time to mend this post. When the sheriff is going to walk up to you, the sheriff's name is Clyde. Clyde is an older gentleman. He's a little bit long in the tooth, and you know that Clyde's eyesight ain't that good. But Clyde, for the most part, is a decent man. But the only problem with Clyde is Clyde does not take well to being threatened. And you're worried that one of these days the wrong person's going to threaten Clyde, and Clyde's going to flip a little bit. But Clyde is going to come pat you on the shoulder as you're finishing up your work, Benny, and says, "Hey, Brandy, you got a second? Are you almost done here?"
Yeah, I'm just on the telling. What can I do you for?
Take a look at this over here. And he looks off in the distance, and he sort of like points your head. And Benny, sure enough, you see a couple of shapes off in the distance away from the town. It's not too unusual to see people coming into town. What is unusual is none of them have a horse. So it's a little odd as to how they got here. And he goes, Benny, you mind doing me a favor and just you're always a lot better at me about being the welcome committee. You mind heading out that way and just checking in on them and getting a good judge of them.
Yeah, of course, no problem with me. I always love new visitors. I can head out there.
I figured you might. You're a good kid, Benny. I appreciate you. Go and head out there, and you got any weapons on you, Benny?
I had to stop and think if he does. Yeah, he usually just carries maybe like a small dagger on his side just in case, but he doesn't usually tend to use it.
He goes, Benny, what I told you. You always expect the best in people. You gotta expect the best, but you gotta plan for the worst.
I've always been hopeful, what can I say? They don't look like trouble. They just look a little lost. I could probably steer them in the right direction.
All right, fine. You handle your business. I ain't gonna get in the way of it. And the sheriff is gonna spit a little bit of chewing tobacco out on the ground, and he's gonna nod in your way. He's like, "You have any questions or anything? I'll be in my office," which you know is code for like I'm gonna be drinking at my desk, probably falling asleep. But he kind of points you in the direction of the newcomers.
But he's gonna tip his hat and just give a wave and then head on out.
How tall is Benny?
5'11".
5'11". Muscular?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you all are taking a second to get yourselves, you see somebody leaving town, and you see this for lack of a better term, you see Captain America wearing a collared shirt, walking out your way, big old smile greeting you. What colored eyes?
Green.
Green, bright green eyes and a big old smile that's just heading out towards the group. Doesn't give me perception checks from everybody else in the group.
11.
5.
11, 5. Yeah.
19.
19.
17.
17.
22.
22. Kiara, you would notice that this person that's walking out is very obviously making it look casual, but they look like they're rubbing their hands like this, like getting dirt off of it. But you pick up on the fact that this is showing that they're not reaching for a pistol. It's a natural look that this person is doing, but they're making it seem as though it's like, hey, I'm not walking out holding any sort of weapon or nothing like that. Okay, Cass and Turk, you would recognize the fact that they're not holding anything. They don't got a big old walking stick. They, I imagine if Benny has anything, it's in a boot. Like a little knife, like strapped to the boot, just in case. But they don't have anything strapped to them. But it's one of the biggest, most genuine smiles you've ever seen in your time at the Lost Isle.
The guy's not
Hey
even.
guys, look, there's someone up there.
Put your guns away, Tex.
Yeah. So Benny,
How far away is Benny? Just rolling up.
Yeah, Benny.
I don't know how far away were they.
You get real close because they were walking towards the town. You get about real close. I'd say you get about 10 feet away or so, and you start sizing them up. You'd see the group for what they are. Look like just like regular folk. Looks like they got a pastor walking among them. One of them looks real short. One of them looks real tall, which is fun to you. But they look trepidatious, but kind.
Folks, you guys don't look like. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was gonna just say how far are we from each other at this point now?
About 10 feet. Benny starts talking.
Okay.
Hey, you
Howdy,
guys
partner.
look like you're around from here. If you don't mind me saying so, you guys need some help? Did you walk all the way out here?
Well, that
In
would
a
be
manner of
silly.
speaking.
It felt like a hop, skip, and a jump, really.
Is there any towns in the area that it would make sense for them to come from?
Absolutely not. The nearest town is about a day's ride away. You know that there's quite a bit of people that come out here looking for farmland, like for free land. There's another group of people that believe that there's gold in them there hills. So come out this way, but they usually come with supplies because nobody here gives you nothing for free. You set up yourself and you survive out here, or you ain't gonna make it long. So the fact that they're out here is a little suspicious.
Well, partner, you know, our wagon broke down just a while back, and I'm gonna have to take some responsibility for that. And the livestock, the horses, they weren't doing so good, so we left them back with the wagons. We figured we could make our way. We heard the town was here. We thought we were close enough to make it on hoofing it.
Cass is gonna look at Taxus and be like, "Oh yeah, the horse. Yeah, we didn't."
Oh yeah, he's around here somewhere. He'll usually show up. And I've got the figurine in my pocket, but I'm not gonna summon him yet. Not unless I need to, because he doesn't look like a regular horse.
That is inside every single one of their heads.
What?
You have, except for Benny, you have zero subtlety.
The only thing inside Benny's head is like a grassy field with like birds flying. He's like, oh, nice.
Benny's not even gonna make an insight check. You're like, yep, checks out.
He said, that sounds
He actually stepped forward with hand extended and said, "The name's Turk. These my companions and everything. And who might we be speaking with?"
Benjamin Rodriguez, but you can just call me Betty if you're a friend, and y'all look like friends. And then he gives you a big handshake, very
Turk.
vigorous.
Turk, give me a strength saving throw.
That'll be a 23.
Benny doesn't mean to, but you feel the muscles in you feel your fingers pop. Like Benny doesn't have any sort of, he's not trying to be malicious. It's not one of those like where somebody meets you and they're trying to assess like, but Benny just has such a firm grip that you feel your fingers pop when Benny shakes your hand. It's just a vigorous and very genuine. Does one of those, I imagine Benny doing the two hand, like where he like shakes your hand with the other hand, he grabs your hand, he's like, "Oh, it's just a pleasure to meet you," and shakes it hard.
Partner, you got yourself a firm handshake there, and I appreciate that in a man.
Mom always told me I don't know my own strength. Hey, who might you all be?
Cass's eyes are gonna light up when Benny introduces himself, and she's gonna run forward. It's like, "Oh, hi, you're Benny. Yeah, hi. I'm supposed to give you something. Hold on." And she's gonna dig it out of her pocket and produce it, and say, "This is for you. I don't know what it is, but here, I'm Cass."
Benny's happy to take it. He's like, "For me? Oh, now I feel embarrassed. I haven't got you nothing." And he takes it and like looks at it in his palm.
Yeah.
Does Benny know what it is?
Benny, it's a little silver charm, and it looks like a hammer. You got no idea what this thing what this thing is. I mean, it looks silver, which is good. It's a little precious metal to you, but you have no idea what that is. I'm gonna say it's loud enough for you all to hear the sound of gunshots. You're far enough away in town that you'd still be able to hear this because there ain't much noise coming. But inside the town, in fact, over by Miss Olivia's, you hear the sound of gunshots, Benny. They're coming from inside the saloon.
Benny's quick to like turn around with his hands sort of out to kind of like just block everyone and be like, "Oops." He's like, "Well, I suppose this is a fitting introduction. What would be like the closest buildings around? Because he wants to like take them in somewhere where they can not be a part of it, but like still be out of the way to not drag attention."
Sure. Let me lay out the town for you guys a little bit. The town forms a four-way stop. Okay, so you've got several buildings that make your way alongside the side. So if you were to walk into the town, on your left-hand side, you would see the general store. Okay, after the general store is the jailhouse. Okay, then there's a little bitty break. There's that town center. Okay, the next building that you would see on your left-hand side, if you kept walking past this little four-way stop, is the saloon. The next place is an odd place. It's an apothecary / antiquities / miracles of modern science.
Is that the name on the wall?
It's actually Dr. Fitzbarrow's Apothecary, Antiquities, and Marvels of Modern Science. So you figured that the nearest place to you would be the general store. You could shove them in there. You could shove them in the jail for a
Now
little bit.
we heard those gunshots, right?
You heard those gunshots clear as day.
So can I insight that Benny is aware of them, and that he's now looking at other places, which would mean that like he's not headed for that. He's looking for something like. I want to pick up on this and be like, no, let's go towards the gunshots.
Sure,
you know?
sure. So here's the thing that you immediately notice. The gunshots go off. The first thing you're going to notice about the situation is that Benny puts himself in between the entire group, shoves his arms out like this, and basically goes, whatever's coming, shoot me first, even though he just met you. Okay? But then give me an insight check.
No, that was
You
a
don't-
2 on the die.
You don't know.
Instinctively drawn his revolvers at it, but I was looking at Benny questioningly. Why?
You know what? Why? I'm not going to take this away from you. If Texas feels that like Benny is trying to shove you in the general store, like yeah, like to
Yeah,
bring,
if there are gunshots, I want to head towards the gunshots, and if he's not actually trying to stop us, like I'm gonna head towards the gunshots.
How commonplace are gunshots like in the day-to-day life around the town? And I used to just like that's just kind of happens.
All right, so there's a drinking game called Catch 'em. Okay, you know that a few of the cowpokes when they get real drunk will play this game. Okay, basically what you do is you line up on the bar, a big old glass, a whiskey glass, and a shot glass, and the game is this. You got to drink a big old beer stein full of whiskey, throw the glass, and shoot the glass before it hits the floor. Then you got to, now that you're drunk off of a huge glass of whiskey, you got to drink the whiskey glass and shoot that before it hits the floor. Then you do the shot and you do that. If you do that, all of those, people are making bets on whether you can do it. You get all the drinks for free. But if you miss any of the shots, you got to pay for all the drinks, which is a huge glass of whiskey, and people make money off the side bets. It's not uncommon to hear gunshots like that, but it's also not uncommon for somebody to get into a brawl and pull a pistol out on somebody.
What's the game called again? I'm just writing it down.
This game sounds amazing.
So and Benny is just explaining it to us, correct?
Yeah.
Eric holsters his guns and says, "I think we need to be heading in that direction."
It's known by many names, but you know for the most part it's Drankums.
Cool. So yeah, I'll explain that to everyone.
As you're walking into town, yeah.
Yeah, as we just head in. I'm like, it just happens from time to time. Ain't much else to do around this place, so people find fun where they can.
Oh, we need to check that out then. That sounds great.
I mean, if you guys are willing, are you good with a pistol?
Oh, I think I'm willing.
Touch nothing. You hear me? Nothing.
But
Oh
nothing.
yeah, I'm gonna touch on this. Awful dirty around here.
I'm a little thirsty though. Can we at least get a drink?
All right, you get a drink. I'm gonna check out this
William?
thing.
I swear.
Literally.
I will pull you around by your ear.
It's gonna happen. First chance I get.
I will grab you.
I guess I'll leave everybody
Texas
slow,
is heading straight for the
but
saloon.
careful first. Like, I'll open the door slow to make sure no one's shooting in that direction.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
I love this image too much of Benny like very carefully opening the door and Texas just walks right under your arm through the you're used to holding it up and Texas you walk in and you are home, my dude. There is a man playing the organ. There's a small stage set up where they can do shows and stuff. There's a bartender and you sure enough you see somebody playing Drink 'em or Catch 'em or whatever you want to refer to it as, and it looks like he is drinking the largest glass of whiskey you've ever seen in your entire life. This is a beer stein that somebody has poured whiskey in, and he manages. Let's see if he manages to catch it before it hits the ground. He doesn't. He drinks this big thing of whiskey and throws this glass up in the air and like aims his gun. You see the crowd like trying to move out of the way as he's a little shaky with the hand. And sure enough, he fires off and somebody's hat goes flying off as they duck down, and everybody just bursts out laughing as he almost passes out, catches himself on the bar, and then has to slap a couple of bucks on the bar to pay for the big glass of whiskey. But you see a shady looking gentleman. He is he's where you know him, Benny, as Snake. Snake is taking bets from people, and he's offering bets to people. And Snake is wearing a snakeskin boots. He's got this long black duster on, and he's actually wearing glasses that have dark lenses on them. And Snake seems to be laughing up a storm as he's taking money from random people and stuff like that. And he goes, well, look at this. We got some newcomers. Y'all welcome to Bet's Basin, where the water flows like wine. And everybody laughs at that as a common thing here. He's like, Benny, who is this? Is this your family?
oh, it's just some newbies in town trying to show around. They heard the commotion, and I guess they're looking for a good time.
Well, hell, if y'all looking for a good time, you introduce them to our town game, Benny?
I gave them the little quick write-up. But I'm sure they'd love to see it. Would y'all love to see it?
Absolutely, or just play.
Demon as always.
I mean, I only heard the first part. There's some drinking, there's some shooting, but that's enough for me.
He's gonna walk over to you and he's gonna get down on his knees, and you see this long, skinny man. He kind of takes the glasses off, and you see one of those eyes is milky white behind those glasses, but the other one has these like cold brown eye just staring at you up and down. He goes, how old are you?
What are you implying?
Looks old enough to drink from me. Let's get a glass. And he's gonna slam down one hand on the bar. And Texas, you are given a mug of whiskey. This mug goes from here to here. Okay, on you. Okay. It is a very large mug of whiskey that they hand to you, and you see people looking at you to take your first sip of whiskey.
Yeah, gosh, I'm looking through my spells and going, maybe I could do something about this, and I can't do anything about this.
Go ahead and get.
I mean, okay, before I do this, just to clarify, because I know Lesser Restoration could take care of this.
Yeah.
If it really hits me hard. I don't have Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
I do have Greater. However, Greater doesn't say anything about poison effects.
If you want to.
It says like charmed or petrified, a curse, a reduction to an ability score. It says a hit point maximum. It doesn't talk about poison.
I have had some terrible whiskey in my life, and the only thing that seems like it would be able to cure that sort of hangover is a Greater Restoration.
All right.
So far be it from me to deprive you of burning a
my only 5th level spell
your
slot.
only fifth level spell
I'm
slot.
not saying I'm going to use it. I'm just saying I'm just keeping it in my back pocket.
Good. Yep. Great.
So all right.
Sirk's gonna walk up next to Texas and say, "Are you sure about this, Texas? That there mug's as big as you are."
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, sounds fun. You've seen how much whiskey I can drink. I had a ton of coffee this morning, like more than my usual amount. Now, granted, that coffee also had whiskey in it.
I also saw who walked out of your room this morning.
We're not talking about that. That's why I had the coffee with the whiskey.
I'm not going to stand in your way.
You know what? Now that you're talking about it, I am even more inclined to drink that whiskey. So, bottoms up. Wait, what am I supposed to do again? What are the rules?
Benny, she looks at you and goes, "What are the rules?" As she starts chugging this whiskey.
Benny is gathering some money from his pocket because he's just gonna, if things go wrong, he's like, I'll just pay for it. So he's just gathering up the money he needs. And like also reciting the rules once again very carefully.
So we can make bets on this, is what I'm understanding.
Snake goes, "Absolutely, you can make a bet on this."
I have to
I just
know,
want-
on a scale of like 1 to 10, how much does Snake look like Kenneth Branagh from Wild Wild West? Like, is it Dr. Lovelace?
It is uncanny how much
Perfect.
Snake
I'm
looks
so
like
happy.
Kenneth Branagh. He's got the little mustache and everything. And you're gonna see me make a great change to his character. I'll tell you right now, Missy, if you want to make a little bet, you can make a bet all day long, and I'm happy to accommodate any such bet that you would like to make. Now, here at this saloon, the bets, I need to make sure that whatever betting is done, that betting is done with the right sort of mindset. So we also make sure that those bets are done after I see the person take a sip. So
I just want to. Can I walk over and lean over to Texas? You're, syphilis is a real thing around here.
I ain't planning on sleeping with any of them.
I'm just giving you a heads up.
All right.
And then I'm gonna
were
walk
you
back
concerned
over.
about this?
give me an insight.
13 plus 5. 18.
Yeah, he thinks dark, gritty, and Mordrew is your type. And as you look around the bar, you see a few people that look like they could be related to Mordrew in any such way. So you get the joke about halfway through it.
Oh. We could just drop this.
That's what I'm saying. Don't drink it.
Yeah, but I'm never going to step down from a challenge. I mean, granted, this wasn't really presented as a challenge. now
Are
I'm
you
thinking
gonna
back to that,
talk
but
all day?
I walk off. I walk back over.
Are you gonna talk all day? Or are you gonna play the game?
okay,
Well, I'm
what do I do
gonna
when I'm done with this?
I'd be more than happy to take this on for you.
You throw it up in the air and try to shoot it before it hits the ground.
Oh, I'm really good at shooting. All right, I finish it.
Okay, give me a con save at disadvantage, please.
Oh, disadvantage.
Yep.
Doy.
Just throw away all of my
It's a
dice
one.
forever.
You took a sip of whiskey as big as you. You downed the glass.
I rolled a 2 and a 5.
Okay. Texas, you don't know where she put it because space-wise, it doesn't quite add up. But Texas downs this glass and already looks a little glassy-eyed. Okay? So Texas, as she drinks it and she starts looking a little glassy-eyed, you see Snake going, the betting is as such 5-to-1 odds against. If anybody here would like to make a bet.
I'll put 20 on. She makes it.
Oh my god.
Okay, now hang on. As he goes
I'm gonna
20
use
if
my level 5 spell slot, aren't I?
20 if she wants to make it. Benny, this man just said he wants to bet $20. When you think collectively the entire town is probably worth about 17 on a good day. And this man just offered to bet 20 that the drunk little one is going to make this shot.
How close is Benny to him?
How close is Benny is
I would say like right next to him.
You can get right next to him.
Cool. Benny's gonna put his arm around his shoulder and be like, ah, this guy, we got a real jokester up in here. do you?
I'll pull the 20 and put it on the table. She'll make the shot.
My goodness.
The room goes quiet. The piano player stops playing. Everybody gets real quiet. And Benny, you see every single eye in this place look at the bar where $20 sits. And then you see every single eye look at Kiara, Cass, Turk, Texas, and all these new fish that you brought into this pond. And you see them looking them up and down, and then they start doing something that you are very familiar with, Benny. They start making mental calculations of how many bullets they got between them.
Ugh. I don't know. I think Benny's just gonna kind of deal with it after the fact, let it happen, and also, but is hoping she makes it, and then immediately after is already planning that, like, he's like, I gotta get them out of here. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
I'm taking him to grandma.
We gotta go.
We're
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
him to grandma's farm. Like, they're gonna hang with mama. Like, we need to get him out of here.
Okay. Texas.
So what have I got to do again? I got.
You take the bottle.
I take the bottle.
You throw it in the air.
I throw it in the air.
Do you throw it in the air?
No. I just.
And you shoot it before it hits the ground.
And I shoot it before it hits the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's all I gotta do, right? I just throw it up in the air and shoot it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. I got it. Hang on. I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
I need to take a moment. I need to gather my
wearing
thoughts.
any physical guns right now?
She is not having any physical guns on her person that you all can see.
I'm gonna need to borrow someone's gun.
Everybody laughs, and he goes, I'm actually going to up it to 7-1 odds against if anybody wants to get in on this action.
Listen, I think you should up those odds even higher.
So let's say it's my 20,
mm-hmm.
and it's 7-1 odds. I sure would like to see the bank on that.
You see,
you'll be able to cover it.
Sure. You see Benny reach into his pouch and pull out the largest gold nugget you've ever seen in your life. This thing is about as big as somebody's closed fist. And he takes it and he walks over to the bar, and there's a little jingle jangle of his spurs hitting the ground a little bit as he comes over to where the 20 is, and he picks it up and holds the 20 up for everybody to see, and then very loudly takes that gold nugget and slams it on top of the $20 bill. Is this enough for your eyes to gander?
As long as you can cover my win.
While this is going down, I'm actually taking a knee in front of Texas, and are you sure about this, girl?
I got this. It's gonna be great. I can borrow your gun. Whose gun can I borrow?
You see somebody volunteer. You see this old codger get up, and he'll walk past Turk, and he's got, I got a gun you can use.
Okay, thanks. You're darling.
And he hands the gun over to you. He picks you up. He like taps you on the shoulder. Goes, let her be.
Can I take a look at this gun to see if it's serviceable, if I can tell or not?
Yeah, it looks serviceable.
All right, it's all you, Texas.
All right, we ready? We got any betting? Anybody want to bet anymore?
Snake is just taking money hand over fist. People are coming up and whispering to him.
Has he increased the odds anymore?
Nope, still
Okay.
7-1.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my. I just want to sing a little song. I want to inspire myself.
Okay.
I know I'm not inspiring myself. I get that. Okay, so I am going to.
You get up on the
I've
stage?
been formulating a plan. No, I don't even need to get up on the stage. I'm gonna stumble into it a little bit. I'm gonna pull out my guitar and I'm gonna sing, but I'm casting with my guitar. Because verbal and somatic components.
Okay.
But I cast with my instrument.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of that greater restoration.
Okay.
So that I can shoot straight, because I know I'm really good at shooting, but probably not at disadvantage with really cruddy dice when I'm super, super drunk.
Sure. What do you sing?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna sing. I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away, and I'll be okay. And I'm casting greater restoration.
Benny, in the meantime, has like already taken off his hat, is like fanning himself. Because in his mind, like, these people are his responsibility. Like, he's the Wakokumi, so he's like in charge of it. He's like, oh my god.
Snake. Eyes go wide. I ain't a fan of social graces. Think I'll skip on down to the oasis.
Oh, I got friends.
All right, so counterspell at level 5.
Oh, crud. He knows magic.
He knows the song, Texas.
Oh. If that's a counter spell just by knowing the same song?
No.
He knows my song.
He knows a Garth Brooks song in the year 18.
Oh, crud. He does, doesn't he? Crud.
Doesn't he? Doesn't he indeed?
Oh, well, I guess I'm still drunk.
Unless somebody else wants to counterspell this. Counterspell. Going once. Going twice.
That out.
I can't use my reaction.
I don't have it.
I'm saving a reaction.
All right.
All right.
So, Texas, you are drunk as a skunk.
I am drunk as a skunk. Okay, let me, nope, that's not going to work. That's, oh, I can counterspell!
Okay.
I forgot who I was for a second.
What level?
Oh, it's not going to be a 5. Oh, but I can still roll for it.
Okay.
4th level.
Okay. 4th level counterspell.
So I got to roll, that's a 10 plus, it's got to be a 15.
Please use a dice that does not hate you.
All of them hate me.
All right.
Okay, Wolf, I'm using your die. No pressure. It's 16.
Yeah, you counterspell that counterspell.
Oh, I got friends. And I pull up the gun.
Okay.
And I shoot.
You got a proficiency with firearms?
Yeah, I do. Actually, it's not written down. Technically, I don't, but it's in my backstory.
It's in your backstory. I'll let you add your proficiency and your dexterity here. This will be like a ranged attack. Okay. So. So give me dex plus proficiency.
Yep. I'm gonna use that same die.
Okay, to try to hit this glass.
That is an 18, 4, 20, 24.
Glass goes flying through the air. And right as it's at the apex, you see Texas kind of like swaying and then suddenly sober up, take the gun and fire off. That glass gets hit and the bullet goes, cracks it, and you see that glass hit the ground and then start spinning. As if she hit it and she was able to work on the momentum, and that glass just, it's got a hole straight through it. And you see everybody looking at the glass, and everybody looks over at Snake.
Just gonna reach up to the counter, grab my gold nugget and my $20 bill.
Well.
Let's hope you can do that 2 more times. The game. You've completed the first round. Would anybody like to do some more betting?
Oh, wait a minute. Where in the rules does it say I have to do every single round? I think that was pretty impressive all by itself.
7 individuals scattered around the bar stand up.
And
Bennett, were you not forthcoming when explaining the rules of this game?
oh, I'm sure Benny was great about explaining the rules. I just wasn't paying very good attention.
I mean, I think she has a point. We ain't never seen Shu like that around these parts. And she's just a little thing. I think she won't be able to handle this much more. I think it's all right.
You can't do
I
that. Now I have to do it.
She's just, Benny says she's just a little thing. She can't handle it.
You know what? I got this. Shoot.
So did I not get my win?
You were explained very clearly that it's the mug, the whiskey glass,
okay.
and the shot glass.
She's just a little thing. She probably can't do this. That is it. I have to do it now.
So go ahead and.
He was not trying to be offensive, to be clear. He was just very like, she's small. Her blood content can't handle that.
It's like
Or the
reverse
hard rep.
psychology on her.
Nobody calls me Chicken Biff. Nobody.
Cass
Okay.
is super excited that Texas just made this shot, and she's gonna run up and give her a great big hug and say, "Oh my God, it's so good!" And she's gonna cast guidance as she hugs her.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another con save. As you, this is not a disadvantage. It's a lot less
that's good.
alcohol.
Okay.
It's just a whiskey glass full of alcohol, but you're gonna take a big old swig of this, and you're gonna shoot the whiskey glass for me.
All right. So con save is a shoot. That's an 11.
11. You want to use your guidance and add a D4 to that?
Yes, I do. 14.
That's a DC. You managed to choke back, and you are not drunk as a skunk. You will not be making this shot at disadvantage. So then you take a shot of the whiskey glass. You take that whiskey glass up in the air, and you throw it into the air, taking a shot at it.
That's an 11.
You hear the shot ring out
Wait. Roll it again.
as William shifts the sands of times so that you get another bite at the apple.
That's 18.
That'll do it. Another 18 as that whiskey glass falls, and you see people starting to look mighty nervous as Snake is sort of looking around the bar and looking at that $20 bill and at that gold nugget. And he goes, double or nothing. You got another $20 bill.
I got one.
Oh.
I'm going to take out my $20 bill. I'm going to hand it to William because I probably can't bet on myself.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to see you match it on the table.
Oh,
you got another one of those nuggets?
His hands are shaking, William, as he reaches into his bag and he drops it on the ground, and you see him like squeezing his hand. Says, sorry about that. It rolls on the ground in front of Texas. And he goes, sorry, nervous fingers.
Can I do a perception or insight? Was that done on purpose?
Give me a perception check.
While he's doing that, I'll ask him, well, if you don't mind picking up your own gold, I'd hate to touch another man's gold before it belongs to me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That was only a 13 on my perception.
No, something's wrong with his hand. He keeps opening and closing it as he looks at it. And he goes, yeah, no, I'm real sorry about that. Yeah. All right. And he's gonna put the gold nugget down on the ground, and his face is gonna start to look real weird. His skin's getting pale, and he kind of shakes it off a little bit as he puts the gold nugget on the counter over Texas's other 20. And
hey, buddy, You're looking a little rough. We can call it quits and we can go our separate ways. Take my 20, you take your gold.
He shakes his head no, and he goes, fair is fair, a bet is a bet. Whatever happens here, you have proven yourself to the people of this town. He's going to pat you on the shoulder, and he's going to hold a hand to shake out to you, William.
Did he do anything when he just patted me on the shoulder? Did I feel anything or sense any magical effect?
You didn't feel anything.
Oh dear.
Can I tell what the paleness was? Like,
Give me a medicine check, Kiara.
I keep moving my dice tray. What is my medicine? Plus 8, 19.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So during this time era, you know it's not uncommon for there to be all sorts of like, oh, you're sick. Here, take a little bit of this mercury. It'll cure you right up. You know what I mean? Like there's no telling what sort of alchemical stuff this man has going through his system. Whatever it was, it looked like it came on pretty sudden. Benny, you don't spend a ton of time with Snake. It's not your clientele. So it's not uncommon for people to get a little pale in the face, especially when they just put down probably 2 lifetimes worth of gold on the counter. So puts that down right, and he goes to shake your hand, William.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and interpose that between our grips, like
Okay.
I'm shaking his hand, but it will be no skin-to-skin contact.
Okay. He is going to look. Now, William, when you do this, this is going to be a blatant display of magic. Like this is a spectral hand, and I'm going to allow you to do this all day, every day. But all of your
the hand's not invisible.
Only if you are a trickster rogue, my dude. They are the only ones that get an invisible mage hand. So you will be creating a spectral looking hand floating in this space. You still want to do it?
No, I misinterpreted that.
All right. Cool.
So Gun's gonna come up behind Texas and rub her shoulders, get her nice and ready for the next one, and cast guidance again.
Thank you.
You got this, girl. You got this.
You got a D4.
And I don't feel any different. I'm so suspicious about him. Can I get an insight on when he touched my shoulder? That makes me so suspicious. Especially now that I know that there's something about him. He's not from around here.
Tell you what, Texas, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Which shoulder did he touch, by the way?
The right shoulder.
The one I've been shooting with.
Yep.
Okay. You said wisdom save or wisdom what?
Wisdom save.
13.
Okay. You feel something. He did something.
Okay, I think I have a solution.
I'll do one of those minister type. Put my hand on his shoulder and cut.
Before you
go ahead.
do that, you see him turn to the group of men who were still standing and say, "Now we're gonna talk all day and do some theatrics, or we gonna play the game that you all came to see." And he starts grandstanding, throwing his arms back, and you hear a loud cheer. Yeah, come forth from the crowd, like yeah, like they want to see it. Texas, you do not even have to make a con save here.
It's just a shot.
It's a shot of whiskey.
And so all it is take the shot, throw the shot glass up in the air, and shoot the shot glass, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take the shot. Oh, I'm going to tell everybody back up. I'm going to say, hey, everybody, I need space for this. I'm going to need everybody back up here. And I'm going to wait for everybody back up at least 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
Because I need 10-foot radius, and I'm in the middle of it.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to take some damage here. That's okay.
As she says back up, Kiara's gonna pull the staff of subtlety out in front of her, and she's going to cast dispel magic.
Oh.
Which cannot be counterspelled.
It
because I'm using the
cannot.
staff of subtlety.
I don't know if this works on this particular thing that was cast on her.
Okay,
I have to look this up.
that's fine.
So while he's looking that up, Kiara, where did you direct that dispel? Onto Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
He touched her right shoulder, so that is where the spell is going.
While this is going on, Turk is keeping an eye on the crowd and trying to determine who the most dangerous in the room is and things of that nature, if he can do something like that.
I think Benny's watching the display and just leans over to Cass and is like,
I need
Where you were from again?
I need a roll, Kiara,
A roll? Okay. That's fine.
because some powerful magic's got a hold of Texas.
Okay. It's just my spell attack mod. Is that what that is?
I think it's your spell modifier, not your spell
my
attack.
spell modifier, yeah.
That's going to be way higher than just your.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That is a 22.
Your arm unlocks from the curse that was placed upon it.
Do I feel it? Does it feel different?
Yeah, it feels a little bit better. You got a D4 to add to it. And you see him looking at you, double wielding staffs, Kiara. And he just sort of looks in your direction. He looks over at Texas, and he sees Texas give one of these. And he looks even more pale than he did before.
Okay, I'm making sure everybody's back 10 feet because this has got to work. So I've got a 2 for if this doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So as I throw the shot glass up in the air, and everybody's back 10 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay. So as I throw the shot glass up in the air, I am gonna shoot, but I'm also gonna sing. You know, as I've got the shot glass, it throws up, because what I'm gonna be doing is with the song, I'm casting Shatter. It'll give me damage, but it should also take out the shot glass.
It's also going to take out the roof.
Well,
Shatter.
I'm shooting upward because I'm throwing it up. I'm shooting.
Okay. Do it.
So it's a. Oh, I don't even know what to. Oh, I'll do that. Barden 925. What a way to make a living. I'm just getting by with the inspiration's given, and I'm gonna shoot and shatter.
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from the point of their choice within range, so near the roof of this building. The good news is this: with this shot, the shot glass explodes. So does the chandelier. And so does a good chunk of the wall leading outside. They are all going to take, the structure of this building is going to take 3d8 of thunder damage.
I really should have checked to see how high the ceilings were, shouldn't I? It's only a 10-foot radius sphere.
6.
From me.
6, 9. A creature or object made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, metal, or wood, has disadvantage on the saving throw.
I know that. I just assumed the roof was higher than 10 feet, but I probably shouldn't have assumed.
It's
an ass of you and me.
It's loud, Benny. It's real loud. As that shot glass explodes, and you're wondering what they were.
That damage on myself?
No. I'm gonna go ahead and say that you could probably aim 10 feet away from you, and just aim it up towards.
I was trying to aim it with me so that I wasn't going to destroy everything around me. Just me and the shot glass.
Okay, so you don't want to destroy the roof.
I didn't want to destroy the, like, if it destroys it a little bit, it's okay. But I was trying to avoid doing too much damage to the
I'll
place
allow that.
and taking the damage myself.
I'll
that
allow
was the
that.
point. Yeah, that's why I said I was going to take damage.
Okay.
Because it's 3d8. So.
3d8.
5, 6. It's 11, 12. 12 points of damage to me.
Okay. The bar takes a little bit of it because she's right next to the bar. She's 3 feet tall, so if it's centered on her, the bar's going to get hit. Bar splinters a little bit, and everybody looks over at her as the shot glass explodes, and Texas is knocked backward. It looks like she's got a nasty bruise on her face.
Sorry about that. Sometimes I got a powerful voice.
Cass is gonna look at the old man that lent her the gun and say, "Wow, mister, that's a really strong gun."
Benny will run forward and try and like help you up immediately because he can't stand to see anybody get hurt.
Oh, she's gonna gush a little.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Benny's a very bashful person, so that's very funny to me. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, Mr. Betsy, I never seen you shooting like that," and trying to like help pick you up, but like also politely because he doesn't want to put his hands on you too much because he feels a little bad for goading you earlier. So he's just trying to help you up as
Before
carefully as he
Ace
can.
can say anything, so before Ace says anything, I'll interject.
Okay. Go ahead.
I am a good sport and a fair winner, and I'll take one of the nuggets and move it over towards him, and I'll take the money off the table.
Okay. You take one of the nuggets. He's gonna cast. He burns a spell slot and casts Detect Magic. You've all cast this spell enough times so you would recognize this. And Snake takes a look at Texas, at William, at Kiara, at Turk, and Cass, and Snake just smiles. "I will tell you what, my friend, good sir, and ladies, I have made quite a fool out of myself. No, I insist. You have given me something far more valuable than gold this here fine day, sir." And he is going to take the gold nugget and push it back towards you. "You have given me insight, and I thank you kindly. And I would not be the man I am today if I took handouts from people, and I'm not going to take handouts from people. No, sir. Please, I insist. It belongs to you. Or better yet, how about this gentleman here buy drinks for everyone at the bar?" And he kind of sweeps back and turns to the people there, and you just hear, "Yee-haw!" You hear like hooting and hollering and people slamming their fists on the table and stuff like that. And he turns back to you with a smile. "What do you say, partner?"
Oh, it'd be my pleasure. I could not, and would not stand between these lovely men and their drinks.
There you are, fine people of the town of Best Basin, our savior, our holy night. Oh, holy night, the stars.
Well, I do plan to put this money to good use and building a church fund, so...
A church fund? Look at that, with a heart of gold to match. Benny, you do find and bring out the best in people. Now, I will bid you all a fine, good day. It is almost nightfall, and I fear I might have to return back to my camp on the outskirts of town. But y'all rest up easy. You know what tonight is.
What's tonight?
Yeah, I know what tonight is.
It's a full moon.
Excuse me, but he just bought everybody drinks. Are you gonna turn down a gift of a drink? You won't sit and chat?
What's your name?
Cass, what's your name?
Snake. I did not buy.
It's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure. Cass, I did not buy anyone drinks. The holy man bought people drinks. I was just
he did.
A facilitation.
Yeah. It's a gift. You're gonna turn it down? He gave you a drink. Is it?
I am. I'm under no obligation.
Okay. Well, safe travels. Godspeed.
Or someone else's. And he'll nod to you and tip his hat. Benny, always a pleasure.
He's gonna tip his head back and be like, "You get home safe now."
He looks back at you, Texas, and he's gonna kneel down again. And he goes, "You are a hell of a shot."
That I am. Thank you very much, sir, for noticing.
You're very welcome. One might say that you have shattered the expectations of everyone here at this bar.
One might say that. You pulled some sneaky little moves yourself.
You calling me a snake in the grass?
Oh, I didn't say that, sir.
Are you impugning my honor?
Oh, I am not, sir.
That's all right. I just don't want you to think little of me. Before I go, could anybody please bring over a stool of sorts, maybe a very large book? Good day. And he will nod his head. And as he leaves, he will start singing, short people got nobody. Short people got nobody. And he will make his way to the door and push open the saloon doors and walk out.
I'm just gonna. I'm
I'll
gonna
see
say
you later.
to whoever in the party is closest, I'm just gonna save that retaliation, cause it's gonna happen.
Patience, please.
I'm trying. I am trying very hard.
I feel it's not the last
Can I
time
step out?
we'll see him.
And see which direction he heads.
Can I actually communicate with Wolf and have him follow him at a discreet distance? I don't know how intelligent Wolf is in your mind and everything. What I'd like to communicate is follow him, don't be seen, come back and report after he arrives at his camp.
Turk, you want to take your wolf and you want to send him off so that he is separated from the party in a place that you have never been with individuals that you have not met to tail them alone.
What
That's
happened
something
the
that
last time Wolf went off alone?
You don't know this, Kiara. We can't meta.
Well, I mean, in the crowd of people at Edison's.
No. You don't know that Turk is communicating with Wolf.
True.
Okay.
Do I know, is Wolf intelligent enough to follow those commands? Is that something that he would do?
Yeah, he would.
I'm asking, don't engage, don't be seen.
Okay. Okay.
Check out the camp, turn and report.
One more time, you sure?
He would do it.
Okay, got it. Kiara, then you would see, as William begins to walk outside, Benny, you would also notice as well, William begins to walk outside, and Wolf Garin is following him.
Okay.
Immediately into Turk's head. What are you doing?
Just gonna have him scout out a bit and find out what we're dealing with this guy.
All right, were you
Ghosts.
sending or using the phone?
I'm
The
actually
shoe.
using telepathy.
Oh, okay.
Using the shoe. William, go ahead outside.
Okay, so I see Wolf following after him.
No. You see a man on a horse riding off into the distance. He kind of heads over to the left end of this town, and he is on his horse, and you see Wolf waiting until there's a spot to safely go after him and cut across the plains. Chaotic Colin, thank you for joining us for some Wild West shenanigans here on the Lost Isle. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the raid. Woo woo woo. Thank you. Yeah, so you see him on a horse riding off into the distance.
So I see Wolf sit next to me or just
Wolf
there,
is sitting next to you.
Okay. I'm gonna use the phone. We're within 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
Why is Wolf out here?
Just sending him scouting to see what we're dealing with this guy.
Haven't we learned our lesson by sending Wolf off by himself? Everybody will hear this because the phone in 100 feet, everybody hears.
As the horse takes off, with enough distance passing, Wolf is going to wait and bounce. He's gone. He is off like a rocket, running as fast as he can, chasing after this horse. Okay, Benny, you brought your new friends over to the saloon, and they caused quite a ruckus. You got some
Benny
weird.
sure made a splash.
Striking Kybra, an undead writer. Best name, undead writer? Oh my gosh. That is the coolest username. Welcome to Indigo Chameleon.
Is there any sort of like booth or Yeah, I'm looking for like a table or a booth that's like unoccupied and like against the wall or in the corner or something.
Ain't no booths, but you can find sure enough a table that's unoccupied, and you actually see a group of people getting up. As Snake leaves, you see another group of individuals that tend to go with Snake wherever he goes. And as y'all start looking for a place to sit, they kind of look over at you and they're whispering something and looking over in Texas's direction. But as you come over, they make eyes with you and they go, "What do you want, Benji?"
Oh, he hates that name so much. That's what his older brother calls him. Oof. I ain't looking for no trouble. Just trying to commandeer this here table right here.
Oh, you trying to commandeer this here table, Benji?
If y'all don't mind, I'm sure you got better places to be.
Is that a threat?
Nah, no such thing. Just know folks like you probably pretty busy and trying to show these newbies just nice places to sit and eat and enjoy ourselves.
Oh, hell, Benji, look at you being the welcoming committee. And they get up and they'll look over and they're like, "What's the little one's name?"
Did I hear that?
Yeah, sure. What's the little one's name?
My name's Texas. Don't call me the little one.
Middle name Napoleon.
The little one's name is Texas.
Don't call me the little one.
Little
That
one.
is the last time I'm going to say it.
Texas, I'm afraid you must be this tall to participate in this
gosh.
conversation that we
Oh,
are having.
jeez.
And they will.
Tiara is going to step in front of Texas. Do you have a problem with people of height?
No, ma'am.
That's what I thought. Now, are you gentlemen leaving, or did you have your drink yet?
We were leaving, and all four of them get up off the table, and you see them walk by, and they all kind of shoulder Benny a little bit on the way out. It's just a real quick like bah bah bah, right to Benny's side as they walk out of the bar.
I'm right to assume he's like used to this. Is kind of going like ongoing sort of friction going on.
Actually, Benny, give me a strength saving throw. This might be real fun here.
I got a 13.
All right, so Benny's standing. He's still smiling as all four of them try to walk out and shoulder Benny on the way out. You see Benny not move every time they shoulder him. Like Benny's just smiling, and you see each of them kind of rubbing their shoulder a little bit, and Benny just kind of smiles and takes the hits in stride.
Well, that's it for Texas.
That's it.
Oh.
Yep.
Gosh, I wanted to hit him so bad.
Benny, you got a table for everybody over in that back corner. The piano player starts playing a little bit too. Icky V, thank you so much. Let's unlock those emotes. Yes. People keep playing. The piano player starts playing again. Anybody drinking from the bar? Anybody grabbing their free drink from the bar, shall I say?
I want to ask about water.
You gonna ask Benny or the bartender?
The bartender.
You see the bartender. The bartender is looks to be younger than Benny. It's a scraggly looking kid who looks like he's very proud of this like 3-hair goatee that he's got going, and so much so that he's trying to like pull the hairs a little bit. And as you come up, you see he goes, "What you looking to drink, mister?"
Was looking for some water.
Hey fellas, this guy's looking for some water. And everybody starts laughing in the bar. It's a quiet little chuckle. He's like, "Mister, we ain't got water here. I got whiskey, older whiskey, and newer whiskey."
Sounds like you don't have any non-alcoholic choices.
You ain't, sir, you're in Best Basin. You ain't heard about Best Basin?
Why don't you tell me with that magnified beard you got?
He's like, "I made it myself. I bought some oil from the apothecary, and the apothecary, he told me if I rub some on my chin every day, I'll have a mighty fine beard." He's like, "This here is Best Basin. Best Basin used to be the premier spot to get to in Wyoming. There was a big old lake right outside of town with fresh water, and they said that you could catch fish in it that were as big as a horse. And the grass was all green and such. And then something happened. Something fierce.
How long ago?
I don't know, longer than I've been here. Somebody took something from the water. They say this fella came into town and he started diving in the lake every day. He kept telling people he was bathing. I don't think he was bathing. Because he dove down deep, deep, deep into the water. And every time he came back up for air, he was like cursing to himself. And he'd take another few gulpfuls and then he'd dive back down into the water again. My dad told me that one time he came out and he just happened to be walking by and he saw him carrying something. Something ugly. Covered in mud and sludge and grime. And he was crying, so happy to have found it. And then the water done dried up. Done disappeared.
Who's the fellow that took that?
I don't know. Some stranger that strolled into town.
And he just left?
Yeah. We only know where he was from.
Where was he from?
They called him the Turk.
The Turk. Do you know what he looked like? Their description?
Big man. Big man, tall, wide, muscular. Had all the ladies swooning a little bit here.
I'll point down to Turk at the other end of the bar and look anything like that fella there?
That beanpole? Hell no. That man looks like he hasn't had a good meal for a year.
He looks different right now, though, doesn't he? Didn't Turk say he looks
Turk
different?
is not a muscular guy.
Okay. No. I thought he said he looked more like Clint Eastwood or something.
His
like
clothing
his
is Clint
clothes.
Eastwood. He's
okay,
got
but he
the.
still looks the same. Okay, got it.
But he's still a redheaded
Okay,
kid.
got it.
That,
He's a
around.
redheaded kid. He's a Weasley. Turk is a Weasley. like you know, like but he's long and lean. He's shaggy. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
but the guy that's
He's a
being described. Yeah, he's a surfer. He's archetypical Monterey like beach. What's a beach rat? You know what I mean? But the guy that's being described is built like a brick. So ever since then we ain't had no water. So I got whiskey, older whiskey, and newer whiskey.
Well, then I'll just let them drink the whiskey.
That's mighty fine of you. I mean, you looking for something non-alcohol?
Non-whiskey, yes.
I got some sarsaparilla I can make you. It's like a sarsaparilla soda.
That sounds mighty fine.
Tastes like death, but it's supposed to be good for you.
I'll try it.
Okay. He hands you over a little glass of sarsaparilla soda.
I'll take a sip.
Tastes like death, but it's good for you.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah, Benny. Everybody else, you're sitting at the table, and William's over there ordering drinks and stuff like that. What are you guys doing?
Benny's still like a little sweaty because he was very nervous about what was going on. So he's got his hat off, probably on the table, and he's like, "Listen, I'm mighty happy to have you guys come around. Y'all seem like an interesting bunch, but I ain't never seen shooting like that, and I ain't never seen dollars like that. Probably in my life, much so less on this grimy counter. Where are you coming from again?"
Oh, we're from a ways away. We were just heading through town. I should really find out how much we made. I'm heading over the bar towards William.
Okay.
I want to probably get my money back and find out how much we made on all that.
You know we're coming to see Benny. Is that correct?
Yeah, you knew you were coming to see Benny.
perhaps if we had someplace a touch more private to discuss where we came from, we would be happy to tell you.
Where's,
I mean, yeah, we can get.
where's
Benny
Benny
lives.
lives?
He lives at on the farm with his mom and his grandma Abby.
Yeah, he's got a half a day's. You got probably a few hours ride, but the sheriff also offered for you to go stay to go and you know the sheriff's office has a back room that you sometimes use and
It's called the jail.
it's the jail, but it doesn't have a lot of.
The doctor's office, like, is there any like privacy in
Yeah,
there? Or-
we could go to the doctor. I mean, it's not open now because I ain't there, so I assume we could go there.
Yeah.
So you're the doc, huh? Are you
I
saying
mean-
that out loud, or are you just saying that to yourself?
Yeah, I'll say that out loud. More or less speaking, taking care of it in the interim. The old doc just passed away, God rest his soul, just recently, so I'm kind of taking over his clients the best I can. I suppose we could go there. Probably nobody gonna be looking for you there because you got a few sideways looks for the way you slapped that money on the counter so laissez-faire. So maybe we should go a little somewhere out the way.
William, you feel a tug on your shirt as you look over at Texas, who's got a hand out reaching.
How much you make? I'm sorry. How much we make?
Wait, you're confusing me here.
How much money did we make by shooting 3 glasses of whiskey?
You made exactly what I made,
Right.
minus our costs of drinks.
I'm not good at math. How much did we make?
Well, I don't know how much this gold is. I'll just show her 2 things. 2 nuggets of gold. One's yours, one's mine. I figured we'd try to turn that into something or hold on to it until at some point we might need it again.
Comparatively to the size of Texas, how big are these gold nuggets, please?
They are comparatively sized to Texas, from the knee down to her feet.
Oh, seriously?
Good Lord, have
That is
mercy.
a lot of gold.
No wonder that guy was about to pass out.
I need
Said
to know what he was,
palpitations.
like what.
They're
what did his
boulders.
hand- No, I'm not gonna say that. No. Is that
Careful.
a gold nugget in your duster,
Careful.
or are you a gold miner?
I am mining nuggets.
Listen, I just like my $20 back, and then we can figure out what we're going to do with this. Because I ain't
Oh,
carrying
no
it.
problem. Yeah, no problem.
So I'll get my $20 back, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you give her one of the gold nuggets?
No, she asked me to hold on to them both.
All right. Yeah, you take your $20 back.
I'll put the 2 gold nuggets into my wrist pocket.
Yeah. You see, as you're putting all that back, Benny, you see somebody that you know, one of the assistants over at the apothecary antiquities store that you have your doctor shop at the back of, that people come and visit, and it helps you to take some of the things that the apothecary is done with. You can get them at a discount if you put your office there, and people have to walk through it, and he might be able to upsell them a little bit on medicine before they come to see you. It's a fair deal because most of the time they trust you more than they trust him. But he's got a girl that works for him by the name of Lina. Lana is a very sweet girl, and Lana is Native American, but was found here a while ago. But she, apparently, the sheriff brought her in when she was real little and has been raising her. Okay. But Lana comes in, and as Lana comes in, she sees the strangers and comes up right to you, Benny, and whispers in your ear, something's wrong with the sheriff.
Okay. I'm instantly gonna kind of get to my feet. To be like, yeah, just give me 1 second, and then we'll get to our business. I'm gonna kind of pull her, like, not super far, but just off to the side. I've been like, does he need some sort of medical attention? What's going on? He looked all right when I saw him earlier.
We brought him to the doctor's office. He's shaking something fierce, and I don't know what's happening. I brought him over to where you were because I was told you were here at the bar, but Benny, something's wrong. Like he looks pale and he's shaking. Like something's wrong with him. Like I never seen him act like this before.
Benny's gonna put a hand on her shoulder to like reassure her and be like, "Hey, Linus, all right,
Lina,
don't worry."
Lina grabs your hand and starts trying to drag you out of the bar, Benny. She is terrified.
All right. Thinking I should take him with me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out, and I'm gonna have to be like, just give me a second. Whoa there. Just give me a second. I'm just letting them know where I'm headed, and then I'm right behind you.
She runs off. She lets go of your hand and runs off. She's running back to the doctor's office, to the apothecary.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way back to the table, and I'm gonna let them know, like, all right, folks, there's some bigger fish going on. Seems like something's going on down at the sheriff's station, so we might have to actually, y'all can come to the jail if you want, and stay in the back, just at least so I know where you are, because frankly, I don't trust half the folks up in this bar as far as I can throw them. But I gotta head out that way right away. I don't want to leave y'all alone.
Come with you.
You could feel comfortable. I can't watch your six on the way there. I gotta speed over. Can you? I mean, I know.
We'll keep up with you.
She's gonna handle herself fine, but y'all all gonna be good.
We seem to be safest with you.
All right, I mean, I appreciate the compliment. And then he's just gonna head to the door.
Okay, you take off running.
Yep, well, I'll follow,
yeah.
or I will.
Okay.
I follow.
Benny takes you off, and you run to an apothecary. It's a little ways down the road, but as you run in, you see a man behind the counter who is a very wide gentleman who's got a big hat on his head, and he goes, "Tell that girl to calm down, Benny. Something's wrong with the sheriff, and you need to get him out of here. I can't have a man dying on my property. It is bad for business." And he goes over and pulls the curtain back. As he pulls the curtain back, you see Lina as she's trying to hold the sheriff down. The sheriff's got his back arched, his skin is pale, and he's got a cold sweat on his face. But Lina is trying to hold him down as his body is arching his back and shaking. He's got this like dazed look, and his eyes are rolling to the back of his head. Heroes, what are you doing?
Can we help? I mean,
what is?
Go ahead.
Would I recognize what's going on at all? Would this ring a bell for me?
Medicine check, Benny.
Oh, okay. I got 18.
18. He's having a seizure of some sort. You've seen people have a fit before, and he looks like he's having the fits, but you've never seen the sheriff have the fits before.
I'm
Like,
about to be seriously upset that I burned that Greater Restoration, aren't I?
he's having a fit. You can hold him down. You can try to like make sure he doesn't bite his tongue.
On the bed, if
You
it's on
got
the bed, would I
straps?
have like
Yeah.
another strap?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do the best I can to start locking those up, and I'm gonna actually ask everybody if they can and they help me the best I can without like harming his wrist. Like, be careful.
He starts screaming, Benny. And William, everybody. He starts screaming, talking about the fires. The fires are too hot. It's burning me, and he starts ripping his shirt. Tries to like take a hand, he rips it into his shirt, and he starts trying to rip his shirt off of him. He manages to get a hand in, and he just starts screaming about the fires, how it's too hot. And Lina is pressed up against the wall with her hands over her ears, and she's just rocking back and forth as this man is screaming.
Kiara's going to step into the room and kind of make sure she's blocking the shopkeeper's view, and she's going to cast shape water and try to cool him down.
Okay, what water?
Oh, crud.
There's no water here.
I can help with that.
I mean, I can too.
But
Kiara, as you look over at Cass, for a 1-2, Cass, what are you doing?
First of all, let's kind of look around the room and see if there is a small source of water.
Benny's got a
Or
little
a-
Benny's got a little dirty basin that he like cleans tools in and stuff like that, but it's been used over and over again. You got a little bit of water in this room.
Gross.
Okay. Quick question.
William,
Ray of Frost.
Ooh.
he's gonna take damage.
If it's not cast on him,
What are you casting it on?
the wall.
It's clever. I like it. You can cast it on the wall. So William is going to point and cast. And Benny, for the first time, you're seeing outward magic from these folks. It ain't uncommon. You've heard of people that have been able to do some strange stuff. And Linus told you stories about people that have been able to change into animals and stuff like that. Hell, even your grandma told you that you had your grandfather's strength in you, and that if you concentrate real hard, you've been able to heal people just by thinking about it, by asserting your will in the universe. You've been able to lay your hands on somebody and say, like, enough is enough. But William is going to point a hand, and at the wall, you see a thin layer of ice start to form on the wall.
Once that's done, I will use shape water to pull the frost off the wall and cool him down.
Okay.
And in the same span of time, then, since Kiara now has a source of water, Cass will try to calm his emotions.
Okay. What's the save on calm emotions?
It's 16 charisma.
Okay. He fails. He starts breathing a little bit better as the ice is brought off the wall, and the minute that thing touches his skin, it immediately evaporates. You're sending little puffs of steam into the room as that ice is hitting his skin, and he is so hot. He is so burning hot that his skin does not look red. He does not look like he is like putting out a lot of heat, but you know he must be because that ice can barely get to him. It's cooling him down a little, but he starts to calm down and breathe a little bit better, and he's just like muttering on the table about the fire. It's so hot. It's so hot. Fire.
I'm gonna pull out my mandolin and start strumming just little chords,
Okay.
and cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
So if he's making saves against something, being charmed or frightened or possessed,
Okay.
he's got advantages against that, and he's protected against.
What do you
know,
play?
Just a few strains of
Calm and like
yeah,
elevator
just
music.
just chords.
Yeah.
And,
With
yeah.
between the calm emotions and all that stuff, like he is and all the ice on his body, like he starts to calm down a little bit, and he just kind of lulls off into like a state of unconsciousness. His shirt is ripped open, like where he's got scratches where he scratched himself. You know what I mean?
Is there any other marks on his person?
Investigation check.
Yeah, I also like to help with that.
I'm gonna help.
Oh, it's a +0. Fantastic. It's a nat 20.
Nat 20.
I need that reaction as something.
I have a
my ring down,
+0,
maybe.
so it was just ironic.
Benny,
to me.
you and Kiara start like taking his shirt off of him. You start looking for any sort of marks on him, and he's like a baby in your hand, like as strong as you are, and you lift him off, and Kiara, you're looking at him, and as you pick him up, Benny, and Kiara and Cass help you take the shirt off, Texas keeps playing, it's you laying him back down on the table, there's a before he calms down. So because of that, you kind of flip him on his side. Okay, and he's got stuff carved into his back.
It's carved into
What am
his
I looking at?
I also have friends in low places. See you tonight.
Is it a fresh wound? Is it healed at this point?
Funny you should ask that, Cass.
Uh-huh.
It's already healing.
Yep. Cool. Great. Nice.
Can I ask? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cass.
Oh, I was gonna ask with the healing, like his temperature, like I got hold of him touching his wrist, like is it cooling? or is it staying constant? Like with the healing, is also the heat going away for him?
He's still really warm to the touch. Almost as if his metabolism got kicked into overdrive.
Can I ask Malish if he's seen this before?
You got a little bird on your shoulder?
Yeah. Let him come out.
Hey there, boss. What's up?
Hey, have you ever seen anything like this before?
I mean, yeah, that's a guy laying on his side. You sleep like that sometimes.
Yeah, but the healing, his back was scratched up and he's healing pretty fast. And
I haven't looked at his back
on
yet.
fire.
You want to go check it out?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Holy crap, you guys, somebody carved something into his back.
I love you, Malish.
I love you too. I've never seen that before. Sometimes it's scary movies, which I am not allowed to watch.
I know.
What else is wrong with him? And you would see this like
just
little
tell
bird
him
like,
exactly. Yeah.
and he's talking to Williams like, yeah, what else do you see, buddy? And he's like, and
Let's describe everything to the scene to him.
yeah, it
The
sounds
temperature and stuff like that.
like he's cursed.
All right, I'll relay that information to the rest of the group.
It's not a full moon tonight, is it?
Yeah, is it a lycanthrope curse?
Boss, I don't know what that is, but he's probably a werewolf.
Thanks, buddy. You know
Yeah.
I love you.
Hey, do you have like a big box or something? Maybe like a dog kennel?
Oh, wait, what? What? You want a big box?
No, I'm just saying you might want to put this guy in a big box or like a dog kennel.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, good call. I'll relay all that as well to the rest of the group.
Hey, don't worry, it's just one. You'd only have to worry if there was like a pack of them or something.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're in trouble.
I'm an optimist.
That's why I love you. You are my favorite person.
You want to go back in the back for a little bit?
We can't. There's a pack here.
Oh. I'm going to go hang out in your back because I took some goldfish quackers and just in case they weren't invented yet.
Oh, yep, no problem.
Okay. I love
Thank
you.
Ah, gosh, I love you so much.
Okay, sorry about the werewolf.
Yeah, no, it's understandable.
But it's okay. At least he's not a lycanthrope like you said. And he's going to fly
that
into
would
the
be
back.
way worse.
He's going to fly into the back.
Yeah. So, we don't happen to have any silvery vampires or anything like that. Mordrew's not around, is he?
I
he
haven't
texted to make sure
checked.
He wasn't for this.
I think in the meantime, Benny would have gone over to Lina and tried to like calm her and was like hugging her tight, making sure that she's okay, and then trying to have her leave because he's like, I don't know what's going on here.
Wait,
I'll
this guy's the
explain
sheriff,
everything
right?
to Benny.
Yeah.
Can't you just lock him up in one of the cells overnight?
What exactly is going on? Because
He's going to turn into a werewolf.
would Benny have any knowledge of werewolf, like general knowledge, but like as like a real concept?
General knowledge. You would not have any general knowledge of that. However, as you go over to comfort Lina, her tears and rocking back and forth are going to softly turn into laughter. As you come over to where she is and you kind of put a hand on her shoulder, and as she looks up at you, she's going to look up at you with those big puppy dog eyes, big canine looking eyes, Benny, as she is going to get up off of the ground, standing up to her full height, and she's going to shove you at that wall with a 22 to hit, Benny.
Oof. Certain that it does.
Yeah, Benny, you're going to go flying backward and look at Lina with a confused look on your face as Lina stares at the group and say, the dark wolf will rise with the moon, and there ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Beth's Basin belongs to us. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
I knew it.
Whoo, you got some wolves coming for you. Thank you.
Like, if Benny gets bit by a werewolf and I have a character who's a werewolf and a werehippo, I swear.
Wait, hold on. You can't just roll past that conversation right there. You have a werehippo?
I do. She's a halfling named Rosie who is a puppeteer in a circus, and she got bit by a werehippo that sounds like Danny DeVito.
I was there.
It's me. Right here. This face did that. A werehippo. A naked Danny DeVito changed out of werehippo form and ran out of the room.
I made my save.
The things I miss.
And the person that put that werehippo there was the bastard son of Strahd.
It's true.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Indigo Chameleon. And can I say this? I love Benny. I'm really afraid
me too.
that I'm gonna kill him.
Oh please! I'll be so sad. But like, do what you have to do, I suppose.
We're gonna see you all next Thursday for some more Lost Isle. We love you guys. Indigo Connect. And hey, thank you for hanging out with us, getting lost. Undead Rider. We look forward to you hanging out with us. Come and hang out with us some more.
We're the
We'll see you soon.
Jets.
Yeah.